2007's Clive Barker's Jericho is a pretty good game, albeit a bit of a mess.
Holy Mary, Mother of God!
This horror first-person shooter is about a team of 7 supernatural soldiers who are sent in to stop an ancient evil from being released onto mankind, or as the game describes it, the Department of Occult Warfare has sent in Jericho, team, a 7-man unit trained in both conventional and occult warfare. Oh, it's loaded. Okay, let's go on with this. The team soon ends up, though, on a one-way journey through different periods of history to stop God's most disturbing creation. The team's made up of your usual types, the big tough one with the minigun, the one that's good with technology, the stealthy one with a sword, the medic who's a dual pistol wielding priest, the sniper. What I like most about the game is how differently each of them are to play as. They all come with primary and secondary weapons, which have their different uses depending upon the situation, with headshots always being satisfyingly explodey, although I wish the machine guns did a bit more damage. But combine them with each of the occult special powers and what you get is a whole bunch of different options to defeat these squishy, bloody demons with.
I want you to know, when I get out of here, I'm gonna eat your soul.
Sometimes you have to be a specific character to use their power to get past a certain, I don't want to say puzzle, but obstacle, but most of the time it's up to you who you want to play as. You can switch between characters at the touch of a few buttons. It's almost the equivalent of switching weapons in any other shooter. So if you think you want to use a minigun for a bit, then you switch to the character that uses it. And I find it creates this great way of getting around a battlefield quickly by switching soldiers in the blink of an eye to get to a different position. But when things go wrong in a fight and people start going down, it's like you're losing weapons from your arsenal, which makes things harder and harder to survive until the whole team's dead and eaten by flies. It can get pretty chaotic. I think that this squad of characters is the game's biggest strength, but also can cause some problems. I like all of the different characters, and even though we only learn bits and pieces about their past, because most of the time they're just saying those really annoying comments in a fight just over and over again.
What? That's all of them? What? That's all of them?
As well as some lines you probably wouldn't hear much in a game made today.
You just got your ass kicked by a girl.
Yeah, but I was interested enough in all of the characters to later go online and find out more about this world and this story, which was written by author Clive Barker, who wrote horror stories such as Hellbound Heart, which would later go on to be adapted into a film, Hellraiser. And you can see Barker's style all over this game, as you descend deeper and deeper down into this hellish nightmare. But as much fun as it is being part of this squad, it can make things a little bit too much, a little bit too crazy. They're not always the smartest of teammates, and so often I find that you're running around reviving everyone. So rather than getting involved in the fight, you're almost put back to a supporting role, keeping everyone healthy, when really what you'd rather be doing is shooting demons with a shotgun or punching them in the face.
Jones, take Alpha and do some recon. Do not engage without backup. Back here in 1 hour. Omega, let's go.
I actually think the game's at its best when the story makes the team split up into smaller groups. These reduced numbers really let you focus more on each character's strengths and lets you get to grips with their playstyles, almost like a tutorial. It also could have provided a chance for some replayability, as the game could have let you choose which of the two squads you wanted to follow, creating a branching path and a reason to go back and play the campaign again by choosing the alternate routes. But eventually everyone comes back together and lets the chaos resume of 1,000 things going on at once, with everyone running into each other's line of fire. It's good that the environments are as dark and bleak as they are. I think some of them look great. But if they had any more detail, I don't think this game would be playable on console, because there are times when the frame rate dips so low, it feels almost broken. Animations rarely feel smooth, it's like every movement is janky. But it's hardly surprising when there's so much going on at once. Now let's talk about the ending. I won't spoil the story, but after a few bosses, which actually I think are pretty good, they all have some trick that you have to figure out before you can hurt them, mixing puzzle solving, your occult powers, and some good old shooting. And then something else happens, and then it cuts to credits, without letting us know what any of the characters were thinking at the end. It feels like a cutscene is missing to wrap everything up, and leaves you without any final thoughts on the story. I may be in the minority here, and I know it's never going to happen, but I'd love to see this game remade, with more horrific details and smoother gameplay. It has some interesting ideas as far as the story and settings go, and with some tweaks I think that the squad-based combat could be something special. Thanks for watching.